And good morning, one and all. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever part of the country or the world you might be at this time. I'd like to welcome all my fellow protagonists to the show. Welcome from X3CNC, Mr. Paul Stewart. How's it going? Hey, Troy, how you doing? Russ, good to see you back there. Parking lot duty tonight with the wife. Ah, okay. I hear you. You're at Wally World, probably. Let's see, Mr. Kevin from Philadelphia. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Dave Kraus. How's everybody doing tonight? We're gonna get started with tonight. Tonight it's tonight I'm just gonna do some a little bit of scaling. Show you guys how to take something 3D into 2D. It's really more common sense than everybody thinks, but people have been asking me questions about that, and I'm gonna try to keep it extremely simple, more simple than you might imagine and stuff. Well, let's take a look at. Let's go take a look at. I've got my picture in the shop. I just want to make sure. I thought I heard a noise back there, so got to make sure everything's safe back there, and nobody's breaking into the shop. And so here we go. Let's see. Share the screen here for you guys. I might as well start doing that. So let's see what we got in the shop here. Ah! Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I don't know how that got in there, but I guess turning down the AC just didn't help much. Oh, well. So I hope you guys got a kick out of that. Let's see here. This from last week was our little. Oh, hang on a second. There's one thing I have to do beforehand. Good evening, Bobby. Good evening, Leonard. How's everybody doing out there? See, more people are dropping in. We're up to 16. Very nice. Let's see here. From both 17 with Bruce, from both Facebook and YouTube. And let's, I have to do one little bit of housekeeping here before I forget. Because if I don't do this, let's see. And just yeah, YouTube has a habit of on the lives. When I set them up, they automatically turn off the monetization, and that's very annoying because I like to have the monetization on. But well, anyway, so I just want to make sure that the monetization's on before I lose any more money, because well, that's how they get away with millions of more dollars in their pockets. And I don't want to say it's abuse. It's not abuse, but it tempts me not to use their platform. But kind of what choice do we have, as it were? Could always just go Facebook Live, but what's the point? But regardless, let's go ahead and share screen and go back to this. All right, now a couple weeks ago, I did this little thing for you guys. You'll notice I did I was working on the plan of my house, and what I did was I created a 24:1 scaled down model, actually 1:24. Sorry, a 1:24 model, scale model of the house. So I can use 1/4 inch for the walls. I'll use 1/8 inch for the 2x4 walls. They're 2x6 and 2x4. I know it's not exactly, but it's close enough. If you were to pull out your calculator, and this is the first lesson, is when it comes to all your let me see what I can do here. Hang on a second. I don't have an extra. Where is my? Here it is. Why is it not? Oh, well, whatever. 3D bud models. Yes, folks, that's part of today's lesson also. But all right, the calculator. Let's just. Oh, do I have it? Oh, well, I was hoping I can get a full calculator, but no. I mean, enlarge it to the entire screen, but I can't do that. So you'll have to look at it tiny. But basically, the first lesson is when you're reducing. I know this is a little. Some people have asked me about the reduction of this of the model. I've had a lot of questions on this after I did this a couple of weeks ago. How do I do this? How do I do this? And how do I determine everything? I'm confused between feet and inches, and I completely get it because it's a 1 to 24, which means 1 inch for 24 inches. And an easy way of thinking about it, but it may confuse a lot of people, is for every 2 feet, it's 1 inch. But let's not think of it that way, because it's very easy to just stick with one, as I was taught in school. I don't even remember if it was grade school, high school, or university, but use one set when you can. Use the same unit number, the same units, and if you can, stick with the same units. So let's stick with inches because we are working with inches. So if your model is 60 feet long, then, I mean, I know off the top of my head, divide by 2 and it's 30 inches. Okay, let's not do that. Let's do it a little bit more complicated, but let's do it supposedly the simple way, because this works for everything. 60 feet, multiply the number of feet by 12, because now you'll have 720 inches. My house is 700. It's more than that, 65. So let's say 65 times 12 is 780 inches long on one side, which I think it's more than that, but I don't have the measurements with me. Okay, so now divide by, it's 1 to 24. So whatever your actual size is in inches, divide by your scale. 24, that's 32.5 inches. So this model should be from the bottom here to the top, 32 inches. It's, let's see, we're looking at 32. Here it's 33, but it starts at about an inch up. So it's 32.5 inches or so. So that jibes. But now we're doing small things. Like, for instance, we got to put a TV here. Okay, now a TV, let's use the calculator a little bit. The TV, or we could use our friend the internet. How wide is a let's put a small TV. Let's put a 42-inch TV. 42-inch TV. How wide is a 42-inch TV? 36.6 inches, according to, this random, according to this site, just to get an idea, because we're working with now, when we reduce, we're working with that's another thing you want to keep in mind. We're working with dimensions so small, and I'll get back to the chat room in a second, folks. I know I'm not looking at it, obviously. I don't have my buddy Russ here on to look at it for me, so I will get to your questions shortly. So let's say we have 36, whatever, 0.5, whatever it was. Now we divide again by 24, because we're already in inches. 1.5, 1.52. Let's say let's call it 1.5. So now we're 1.5 inches tall, and 1 inch divided by 24 is clearly 0.04. So just forget anything. So you have to take a few artistic liberties. You're not going to make it 1/24 of an inch. Basically you're going to be like a few sheets of paper, a few pieces of cardboard thick. You could, if you really want to get annoyingly OCD, but okay. So I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to call it small, I don't know, we'll call it the dollhouse, because these are little objects you put in the dollhouse. Now I'm talking TV, bed, things like that. And let's go ahead and put our TV. Actually, the TV is, well, we're looking at two different things, because since we're building a 3D model, folks, on the one hand, what we're doing is we're creating a width is going to be, let's make it 0.1, whatever. And width is going to be 0.1. The height is going to be, what did I say? 1.5 inches. All right. So then here it is right here. Boom. There's our TV. Boy, our TV is awful small. Let's zoom in there. All right. There's our 40-inch TV. So the 40-inch TV looks very minuscule here. But here's the one thing you got to realize, folks. We are actually, if you wanted to do it from the top, yeah, that's great. And make a little diorama and engrave all the stuff from the top. But we're actually making a 3D model. So what do we want to do? We want to glue it to our wall. So the TV, in actuality, now I don't have a 3D view of this. So you'll have to use your imagination. But on the wall, now we're going to look for the actual height of the TV, which is probably about 24 inches. 24 divided by 24, 1 inch. So let's say that's about 1 inch. So in the end, this is the piece, and I will be getting rid of these layers over here eventually. Oops, not that one. These. So all that we will be left with is a bunch of components. I know this is, for some of you, this is going to sound either foolish or basic, but it's those few others that are having difficulty with this that I want to address. So let's say you're building a dollhouse, and now you want to build a couch. Okay. Now, or let's say a bed, because I happen to have somewhere around here. Where did I put it? Here it is. Let me take a quick look at the wherever they went. Here we go. I lost my StreamYard. There we are. Goodness gracious. Okay, let me take a quick look at the chat room here, because see if anybody's commented. Good evening, Chris. How are you? Good. Nothing more. All right. So we'll go back to the model for some of you. Now, what I'm going to do is I downloaded a bed from one of these 3D model things. So we'll use a bed now. We'll just do that this was me goofing around. So here's a bed. All right, so we have our bed here. Now, if you have a 3D image live, that's probably what you would be working with. If you have a 3D software program and you're working with that, well, then you probably don't need this instruction. But I'm using Photoshop. You don't have to worry about this program because I'm just using it for illustration purposes. We have, wait a second, let me make sure we're, sorry, stop sharing. There we go. Okay, so here we are with Photoshop. I downloaded a bed. You'll see the top view over here on the top left, and you'll see, because I can actually you'll see the view from the Z-axis from the top. And no matter, in other words, like if it was like this, and then I could rotate to the middle and move anything I want everywhere. So let's say I choose the bedspreads, and I can move in any axis. I can move this way or that way. You'll see it moving on the top. I can move it right or left. Undo, and then I can move it up in the air or down, buried in. You'll see it disappears from the bed. So let me undo that. Okay, so you have your bed. Now, you want to create this bed in 3 dimensions. So, and undo this. Hang on a second. There we go. Unchoose it. There we go. So we're looking at this dimension. We're looking at this dimension, and we're looking at the top dimension. All right. So bottom line is you'll see a bed is nothing more than a box. So now it's so thin, and we're talking, you're probably looking at what, I don't know, maybe 20 inches, 18, 20 inches high. I don't know how tall a bed is. For that, we go back to our friend Google and we say, how high is a standard bed? 25 inches. Wasn't too far off. Okay, so let's say we're 25 inches high. 25 inches high is basically divide by 24. That's 1 inch. So you're looking at something 1 inch thick. You could cut a piece of 3/4 inch and get away with it because, frankly, a 3/4 inch plywood would translate to multiply by 24. And again, I hope I'm not complicating things too much, but if it's scaled 1 to 24 at 75 at 0.75, multiply by 24 to get 18 inches is the actual height. So if your bed were 18 inches high and this one looks like a short bed, then a 3/4 inch piece of plywood is fine, and you don't need to layer up anything like that. So all you need to do is make a bed. Most beds are say 84 by 78 is a king size bed. So let's go back to our wonderful model here. Actually, let's go to our calculator. 84. I mean, you guys know this number, but I'll do it anyway. Oops. 84 divided by 24 is 3.5, and 78 divided by 24 is 3.25. Okay, so you're going to be making a little tiny model of a bed that's basically going to be, let's go to the drawing tab, make sure we're in the right layer here, dollhouse layer. All right, and now we're going to make it. I'm going to start from this corner because I want my bed over here on this side, and it's going to be 3.5 inches long, so that's the X in this case, and 3.25 high. And here we are. Boom. Oh, that's wrong. What happened there? Hang on a second. Oh, I know what happened there. Let me undo that. As usual, I'm in the wrong area. Okay, so width is going to be 3.5. Height is going to be 3.25. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. So there's the bed. There, our king bed is there. That's now it takes up. It looks pretty small compared to a normal room because this room happens to be. Let's see. It's going from 32 to. So let's do the calculations here. I know offhand, but let's see. This, if I make a square here, it's going to be 9.27 inches. So go back to our calculator, folks. 9.27 inches times 24 is 222 inches. Well, okay, we don't know measures that big unless we divide by 12. So now we get feet, and it's 18.5, which it is 18.5 feet. 18.54. 18. It's actually 18. 6 7/8 or something like that. Anyway, so 18.5 feet long is this room. By it's approximately 23, 25 feet, something like that. So the bed is to the right size. So we made our little square for the bed. You have to remember to choose the 3/4 inch for that. And this thing, I would probably choose a 1/8. It's going to be less than an eighth thick for the TV to put up on the wall, but regardless, if you want a bedboard, do the same thing. Figure out what the bedboard is real quickly. The bedboard here would probably be something like, say, 7 feet long by 4 feet high. Just a shot in the dark. Okay, so 7 feet long. Let's go from down here. And again, get used to using our calculator. 7 times 12 divided by 24, 3.5. And what did I say by 4 feet? That's 4 feet is 2 inches on this thing. So height is 3.5. Sorry. And the width is 2. So I'm just going to put it here. Now that the bed frame will actually be, that bed frame, we'll just make the bed frame a little bit wider. It's not that much wider, really, and of course, the bed frame will be up against the wall, like right here, but we are cutting pieces. Remember, we're cutting pieces. So we'll just put that there. It would be a good idea at this point to label your pieces, say TV. Remember, you don't have to select the label for the when you engrave. This is just for your information. Bed frame, what's that called? Backer board. Oh my God, my mind went blank. Well, whatever, backer. You guys can let me know what it's called in the comments, because I've just drawn a blank. Bed backer, bed headboard. Thank you. I mean, I don't know if anybody said it, but I'm assuming they did, because it took me forever to think up that one. That's what happens when you get older. Headboard. All right. So now, little by little, you take and you grab all these components, and I mean, I'll do a couple more with you guys just to make sure you guys got all the basics, because it's really nothing more than a little bit of math. It's just, like I said, all it is just using the calculator to figure out whatever you want. And so if this one this way is in the model, this will be 3/4 of an inch high, and it will be 3 3/4 inches wide by 3.5 inches wide, which, if you multiply by 24, roughly equates to 18 inches high by 84 inches long by 78. I just happen to have those numbers in my head because that's roughly what a king size mattress is. I don't know. I think I was making a bed frame some time ago. Anyway, so that's this thing. Again, with the sofa, same thing. With the sofa, get the front, pretend this is a sofa. You get the front board here, the front kick plate. You get your cushions. You get your backing. And you get the 2 little sideboards here with the armrest. And just glue it all together. All you're doing is gluing pieces. You're making little models. And depending on how intricate, how elaborate you want to be, the CNC is a fantastic tool for cutting out these shapes exactly within 0.001 anyway to what you want. Let's see what we got as far as All right, nothing, no questions around here. By the way, if you guys have any questions, and if you want me to create something new, I'm gonna go ahead and take this time because I think I don't want to say we've beat this to death, but I'll do one last thing here, and then I'll just do a fun project for us because this is fun for some people who want to create a miniature dollhouse or a realistic model of a birdhouse with glued in furniture and stuff for whatever reason. I've seen that before. Or a small little whirligig. If you have a, if you're, I don't know when the whirligig challenge is, but whenever it comes up, if you guys want to do some really fancy stuff, again, breaking 3D stuff into 2D is just a matter of in the CNC world, you can go really fancy and do some 3D modeling, or you can go very simplistic and use boxes, shapes, and that's all that those puzzles are. Those 3D puzzles are nothing more than these shapes that interlock between each other, and you can do that too. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now, in fact, I'll show you with. Let's do that. Let's show you how. Let me go ahead and click a new one. Let me show you how two pieces will fit into each other. And let's see if you guys can follow along here. Okay. Okay, this is fine. We're going to create two. Basically, we're going to create an angle of 2 blocks. There's 1 block. And copy paste. Here's the other block. Now the blocks will fit into each other in an angle form. There's many ways to do this. And basically what will happen is the following. I can actually do it one way, which is you might enjoy this. You might not. All right. I'm going to take this one and on the right side, I'm going to move it exactly absolute. The right side will be at I'll put it right in the middle, rather right at 10 inches. So 10 inches will be the right side. Apply. I just moved it to 10 inches. This one, now my wood is going to be, it's plywood, and it's 3/4 of an inch thick. So, and that's an important number to know, because right now on the left here, I'm going to do 9 1/4, which is with 9 1/4 and 3/4 is 10. So right now, these two are the space here is 3/4 of an inch. And what I'm simply going to do is we can make these boxes. We'll make a box starting from the bottom. This is kind of a little box joint for us. A CNC box joint, we'll call it. All right, now, and this, for those of you guys, for those 160 of you that have purchased my Javi box, you're going to be very familiar with this figure shortly, with this concept. Okay, so here is, we're going to start from here, and we're going to create a box 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. It's going to be pretty simple, right? 3/4 by 3/4. All right, so there we go. Boom. We just made a box 3/4 by 3/4. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to copy that. We're going to make an array. The gap is going to be 3/4 of an inch on the Y. And we're going to make it, you know what? Normally I would measure, and this is 10 inches high, divide by 3/4, and I'll know exactly how many. Look, why bother? You can just go 1 column, and I'm going to go 10 of them. It's just guessing here. Copy. Okay, 10 is too short. I need about 1 or 2 more. So I undo, and I simply raise it to 12. Copy. Okay, that's good. That's fine. That's what I'll do. I'll do. In fact, let me get rid of that last one. Let me get rid of. Oh, it's grouped. No, there we go. Let me get rid of the last one, and I'm going to select all of these, and I'm just going to nudge it up a little. So there. No, let me not nudge it up. Let me just stick with this. Okay, so we have our basic. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take these shapes. And I'm going to copy them. First of all, I'm going to group them. Then I'm going to copy them. Then I'm going to paste them. And then I'm going to move them up to relative 3/4 of an inch high. All right. So now we have a set here, down here, every other box. All right. Now we take our little box here. We'll just bring it down to this edge. And we take this box and we bring it down to this edge. I hope you guys are. Let me make sure I'm. Let me make sure I'm. Yeah, I'm sharing. Hey, Mako, how's it going? Hey, Tracy. All right, so here we go. So I have just created the following. I have just created. Watch this, if you will. I have this box. I have these alternating boxes. I have the other alternating boxes. Hang on, there. And I have this box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one box and one set of alternating boxes. And of course, do my usual weld. Boom. And then I'm going to take this box and great. It welded, but it didn't weld it exactly as I wanted to. Hang on a second, folks. Let me undo that. Okay. It looks like they're not quite overlapped, so we're going to fix that. Take the box. I'm going to cheat a little and nudge it just enough. Hang on. You just get in there real close. Might be a little too much, but whatever. All right, so all right. Let's go back to this again. Okay, so we take our boxes, we take this box, and now we're going to do this again. We're going to go merge. We're going to weld them. And then we're going to take the rest of the stuff, which basically I'm holding the shift key and selecting this group. The original group is in here also, and this group. It will deselect the pink, and it will select everything else. And then again, I will weld these boxes. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I have basically created a box joint. Now, there's a couple things that I'll caution you with this box joint. Okay, now first of all, this would be if all things were I'm moving it over here. If all things were absolutely perfect and the machine would cut this perfectly and this perfectly, everything, there's still a chance it wouldn't fit. By the way, you're bending these 90 degrees. So imagine this thing comes back this way. But anyway, there's one problem with these box joints, and I don't know if you guys have said there's two problems. Number one is when you get in close, you guys know how the machine cuts. The machine is going to cut out through here. It's going to cut through here. When it cuts through here, guess what it does? It's going to do, hang on, 0.125. It's going to do this. Here it'll cut fine. Here it'll cut fine. But then here it'll do this. And then here it'll do this. So guess what? When you connect those joints, now this is, just so you know, I just want to make this clear. This is the inside of these joints. So what happens? You will never get that thing butt up close. So let me go back to the original here. See how far I can undo this. There we go. And there we go. All right. We're back to our original boxes. Here's the problem with these boxes. This box is exactly, and we'll use the resize. The size is exactly, we got to ungroup it. Well, this is exactly 0.75 high. Now, for those of you that have ever done anything like this, the box cannot be 0.75. You can, if you wanted to, you can take the alternating boxes and make them just a little bit wider. Just a little bit wider. In other words, this one and this one and this one are going to be together and create this shape. You need to make these a little thinner. If you were going to cut out the actually, yeah, so the teeth, if you will, are going to have to be thinner. And these are going to be the other teeth. These can stay the same because if you make these thin on both this side and this side, in other words, take this piece. Let me say undo here. Let me ungroup here. All right, let me take this piece. If you zoom in, now resize it from 0.75 and height 0.75. What we'll do is unlink XY. We shall make this 0.74, maybe too much. Put 742, whatever you want. That basically is 0.003 inches thinner. But that's 0.003 total, so really it's 0.0015 on either side. So let me go ahead and go 0.006 shorter, which would bring this down to 737. Let me see, 739. Okay, 0.006. That's 0.003 shaved off here, 0.003 shaved off here, and that makes a total of 0.006. You're shaving off 0.006 off of 0.75. That's what you're left with. And I know it's kind of boom. And then you just made it smaller. And that is one problem that you face when you do a box joint here. The other problem, as you know, let's say you have this one here, this group of this group here. If you try to cut this, if you try to cut this out, here's what what'll happen. You will have this piece here will be a curve. Let me look back real quick at the comments. All right, so great, no comments. All right, so let's go back to this. So if you are doing this, you're going to have a curve here. You need this thing to give clearance for the, or let's just say this side better. Okay, so I'm gonna unite these now for a second, and then I'm going to show you that this curve here, when the bit goes through, it's actually going to go like that. That piece, when you bend it in, it's going to fit into this hole. You know, so in fact, let me undo this. Let me grab these two, because this one's already, I can already close this one up. Well, no, I can't, but same thing here. This is how it will be, right? And so if you have this one and you didn't want to undo, hang on a second, folks. Here we go. This and this. If you have these two pieces and they're going to supposedly interlock into each other. The problem is what you really have is this piece looks like this, and this outside is fine, but this inside looks like this. So there's no way they're gonna fit nicely to each other. So my solution was the following. I actually created. I extended each one of these. Well, what I actually did was I did. Let's see. Let me go back to this. Okay, we'll put it as close as we can to it. Here we go. What I did here was I did group them all. Hang on a second. Let me I ungrouped them, so let me just make sure to group everything. Let's see. All right, so I had these pieces, and what I actually did was I created in these inside corners. Let me go ahead and merge it. A simple dog bone pattern. So we go to the fillets, but we're going to do this one here. So boom. Nope, not that one. This side. So I did one of these things. So every one of these, let me make sure I separate these before I start goofing around with them. Hang on. All right. So that's the dog bone. Now here's the thing with the dog bone. And for those of you familiar with my hobby boxes, this is what I did with the hobby boxes. I basically created a dog bone on every single one of these, and of course on every single one of these. Let me continue down the line. Oop. I just want to complete the whole thing real quick so you guys can see it. How far on time are we? Let's see here. 8:42. Plenty of time. All right. So and in a second, I'll separate these so you guys can actually see what I actually what I actually have done. Remember now, the dog bone's an interesting tool because you can actually dog bone on the side. You don't want to do that, or on this side. You choose the side of the corner if you're going to do a T-bone fillet, which is what I'm doing. You can also do a dog bone, which is this type, but I like the look of the T-bone fillet or fillet, whichever one you want to call it. It's really pronounced fillet, but sometimes I just like to say fillet because it's food. All right, so we have all our. Oh no, we don't. There we go. We have all our dog bones here. Let me separate these for you. So now you see what I did there. Now, when you close this up, obviously you're going to fold both of these to each other. And this here, clearly you're going to have to, what the? I was on the wrong side. Sorry about that. There it is. Now, when you fold these in on each other, you'll have to extend this out. Whenever you fold these in on each other, you'll have these little tiny holes, because basically what it'll look like here. Let me see if I can show you what it'll look like, which is well, we'll just leave it at that. Okay, what it'll look like is, imagine the other piece here, like this. You're going to have yeah, figures. I did it the wrong way, but I might as well do this again. But folks, Since I had them both together, the fillets are in the wrong place. You guys can clearly see that they're supposed to be here, not here. So let's just pretend we didn't see that. That's a little better. The ends are nice and flat because the ends are going to be, as you see here, pretend this is, let me go ahead and extend this line here. Pretend this is a cross section and you're looking at the actual, this piece facing away from you. So now you have these little tiny holes. Well, it's a decorative feature and they look real nice. And sometimes you may actually like them. Now, what I did, and this is the part that you might find enjoyable, you might not. What I did on these were the following. I took them in node form. I actually went and selected these and extended them. And then I just created another 2 of these. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can do this the right way. Then what I did was I actually just did one of these things. Goodness gracious. I'm in one of those moods today. And with this, I would add, and there it is. So that's what I did with mine. So you will notice, let's say I take this away so you guys can see it a little better. All right. This is what my sides look like. This bottom piece, forget these, but this is what mine looks like. Now, I created these extra longer holes for ventilation. And that's how I did my box joint, if you will. So when the other piece will always butt up against here. And guess what? This piece will butt up against these. And you'll have either these little simple T-bone fillets, or these extra long that I did vent holes, whatever. I put a little glue here, a little glue here, a little glue here, and all is happy in the state of Denmark. And I hope that was a little interesting for you guys. Now, up on the upcoming show, let's see, 8:48. Might as well take this time to plug the. Tonight, Al and I will be discussing at 10 p.m. Stores in the in our wonderful podcast. Guys in their 50s and 60s talking about the 70s and 80s. Basically, the 80s retro podcast. If you want the short version. We're going to be talking about stores like Blockbuster, stores like Montgomery Ward, any stores you grew up in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Hey, bring them in. I don't remember all of them. Our minds are not together. We're a lot stronger than we are apart. So it's nice to reminisce about some of those things. I'll see if I can recall a couple stories from Blockbuster Video, because that's one of the stores that we had here. Of course, the Radio Shack will come into play. I know there are some still around, but we'll be talking about the stores that were everywhere. everywhere. I don't know about you guys, but in our area, we had an Olson's Electronics as well. We had well, anyways, let me not give any sneak peeks, but basically, that's what we'll be chatting tonight on the at 10 o'clock. Same bat channel. And now, since I got another 10 minutes, do I have any requests? Or do I have any questions as far as some of you are asking for what pins are used for XYZ in the diagram? CNC for PC, C11G. There's some, yeah. Because if it was if by any chance you were talking about the BMX or the STB 4100 controllers, well, that much I know about. I could tell you about the pinout configurations in Mach 3 for those, because the USB controllers. But I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. And let's see. Did I miss anybody out there? No, I didn't. It's been a pretty quiet night tonight, and I can understand that. I mean, with all those Bernie sightings, everybody's out looking around, looking for the Bernie. Anyway, so folks, happy to oblige you all. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just let me quickly, without you guys, I don't need to share this. I'm going to pop into my Pinterest account because I've got tons and tons of and one of my pins is let me see, where's there we go, all pins. Let's go to my pins and let's go to CNC projects, and let's just pick one at random, see if there's anything interesting here. Let's do a simple welcome sign. All right, we've gone through this before, but we'll do it again. We'll do a simple and quick welcome sign. Share screen on the for your door. You can hang it on your door, stick a bow on it, paint it, whatever you like. I always like to give you guys an idea or two on the. So here we are. Let's go back to. Let's just get rid of all of this. And we'll call this a welcome sign, whatever. Save as. Welcome sign. All right. This is going to be so simple. We're going to just basically type welcome. And we're going to do it in a font such as, come on, where are you? I know you're around here. Oh, goodness gracious. I gotta search for probably brush script or something here. Good old brush. Hey, where's my brush script? Well, there. Here we go. Bermuda script. I'll do it with that one. There we go. Perfect. Welcome. Now you'll see a nice little beautiful welcome sign. Let's go ahead and do a little something with this, which is first we have to work out the letters. Now we're going to convert it all to curves, folks, very quickly. Convert to curves. We're going to take this. Oh, hang on a second. Go back to our, here we go. And we're going to take the W. We're going to use the arrow and just butt it up close, but not too close to the E. That's close enough. Now, what I want to do with these following letters is I want to make sure that there's no like little notch here. So I'm going to take this and nice and zoomed in. I want to make sure that there's a smooth, relatively smooth overlap. Oh, and one thing I didn't do or did by accident is what you guys got to remember is also when you do that, make sure you choose the entire letter, including the little circles. So let's zoom in. We move it over here. That's great. Let's actually choose all these remaining letters. Move this in just in case we don't have to move one of the others. Let's go to the next section. That one's fine. Let's go to the next section. That one's not fine. So unchoose these letters and zoom in and move these letters. Let me make sure I'm sharing here. Yes, I am. Move these letters in. Choose, go to the last one, and the last one is the E. There we go. We have one huge welcome. I'm going to merge these two. This one, I am not merging these little holes, because if I merge these holes, that's going to be a problem. I'm merging all the exterior stuff. And there it is. It is all now one big merge. And now what I'll do is I will select the whole thing. And, well, let me not do that. Yeah, let me not do that yet. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so I can combine these things. Group. Boom. Done. Now, let's take this and we will put it in the center of our drawing, which is whatever. We'll just choose an arbitrary number. So we'll move it to 1010. Yeah, it helps if we choose something. Absolute 1010. Apply. Boom. We're at 1010. And we want to make, actually, let's go to 1212. Because I just want to make a big circle around this thing. Let's make a circle. And we'll make the circle, the center point will be 1212. The diameter will be, we'll make one diameter 12 inches. Create. Nope, undo that. Let's make it 18 inches. No, 16 is good. 16 is good. We don't want to kill ourselves here. 16 inches, and the other one is just 3 inches less. We'll make this 13 inches. There we go. Now we just increase this. We'll resize it. And let's resize it to, did I? Oh, hang on. I clicked move by accident. There we go. Size. Absolute size is going to be, let's try 12 inches. What did I do? Hang on a second. That was move. Where is my resize? Goodness gracious. There it is. That's more like it. Okay. Width is going to be, we're going to link X and Y because I unlinked it last time. The width is going to be, say, 14 inches. Let's try that, see what happens. Little too much. Let's go to 13 and a half. Let's go. Yeah, 13 and a half is good. You'll see the tips touching on the E. You'll see the tips touching on the W. And now we'll do this the easy way, which is we'll take our little cutting tool and we'll go cut here. Oh, hang on a second. Make sure everything is, we got to unjoin stuff. Or rather, ungroup everything. Okay, everything's ungrouped. Now we'll go back to here. We'll go with our cutting tool. We'll cut this. We'll cut this. We'll go down here. We'll cut this. We'll cut this. Then we'll go to the other side. We'll cut this, 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 and this. Guess what? We just created our welcome sign. It's a nice big welcome sign. You know what? I want to do something else. Just because we have a little bit of time. I'm going to take this and I'm manually just going to stretch this because I want the welcome to be a little taller. And yeah, we definitely... And let's go ahead and center it again. Move, absolute, 1212. Okay, that's fine. Now, Now we'll do what we were going to do with our little tool, which is we'll take our little tool here, chop, 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 chop. Oh, not that one. Zoom in, chop, and chop, chop. Okay. We have our wonderful welcome sign. Stick a bow on that thing, hang it from your thing, and you're done. And just to see what it looks like, I will go toolpath. I will go profile with a whatever 1/4-inch bit is fine. Let's make it a little tiny bit. Let's make it a 16th bit, just so we can see it. And then 75. Calculate and reset preview all toolpaths. All right, we have cut the whole thing out. Double click that, double click that, double click that. Let's zoom in. There's our welcome. We'll get rid of our little notches, and we, folks, are done with this. There's our little welcome sign. That took us, what did it take us? Was that 10 minutes, I hope? Yeah, 11 minutes. All right, so there we go. We took our little welcome sign. We made a nice little welcome sign. I hope you guys enjoy that little project. And with that, folks, hey, Dean, how's it going? Good to see you. There are multiple diagrams on their website. Oh, okay. This is from that prior conversation. And so with that, folks, unless you guys have any requests, you want to stick a last name on a square, or you want to do text on text is a little more, will take up a little more time than we have to spare, but we're pretty much good, and we're at the top of the hour. So if you guys are good with that, I'll be signing off, and you guys all have a wonderful week, and have a wonderful week. I hope to see you in about an hour's time. With Al, we're going to be discussing, like I said, the old stores of the 80s, of the 70s and 80s. It's good times, folks. Good times. I love the nostalgia. I've got over 60 topics for the year, so we're good to go. We've got plenty of information to chat about and to relax. So good night, all. Have a wonderful week, and see you next week. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if next week I may be at the property. I'm not sure if I'm going to broadcast from there, but if I do, it'll be something simple. Have a wonderful week. Bye, folks.